Hello, second graders. Excited to see you today and to continue reading Kittens in the Kitchen. I think you know that Mandy's trying to find a home for the kittens and try to figure out a way also to make sure that the mother kitten or the mother cat is healthy and that the kittens are healthy. After supper, Dr. Adam took Mandy into Animal Art with a secret smile on his face. Come and see a new admission, he invited. Near the door of the residential unit was one of the see-through cages shaped like a cat carrier, but made of clear plastic. Dr. Adam picked it up. What is it? Mandy could see the usual newspaper nest and a roll of soft gray cloth, but she couldn't spot any animal in there. Squirrel, her father said. A small black nose peeped out of the newspapers. A baby, 5 weeks old. 2 large black eyes appeared, and out it came, the size of a hamster, with a long, long tail. Dr. Adam unlatched the cage door and lifted it out. He handed the little gray squirrel to Mandy. Oh, she said. She was speechless with delight. She felt its sharp little feet. She stroked its soft gray back. When the baby tried to suck the end of her finger, "Where's its mother?" she asked. "She got run over." Mandy gasped and her face crumpled. "Yes, I know," he said, looking at her. "And this little one would have died if someone hadn't found him." Mandy shook her head. Life could be so cruel. "You'll never guess who brought him in." "Who?" "Old Ernie Bell from the cottages behind the Fox and Goose." Mandy looked surprised. She knew Ernie Bell as a grumpy, silent old man who shuffled down the village street with his bag of groceries. He came in and handed him over. "Air veterinary," he says to poor Jean. "Just check him over while I fix up a run, for I'm in my backyard. I'll be back for him in 24 hours. Just check he's all right." And he leaves the little fellow with Jean and stomps off to build a wire netting run. Who'd have believed it? Ernie didn't have the reputation of being soft on animals. Dr. Adam put the baby back in its cage. "What's the roll of cloth for, Dad?" Mandy bent down to study the squirrel in his cage. "For comfort. Something for him to snuggle up to. Animals need a mother substitute, you know. Something to take the dead mother's place." His voice was warm. He put an arm around Mandy. "What are you feeding him with?" "This stuff. It's the bottle food we give to orphan kittens." "Why?" Mandy was making new plans for Walton's brood. She took the box of white powder and read the list of ingredients and instructions printed on the side. "Can I buy some of this from this week's pocket money?" she asked. "For your school kittens?" Dr. Adam lifted 3 boxes down from the shelf. "Go on, take them. You don't have to pay." Mandy smiled. "Walton's a little weak right now. We'll have to help her feed the kittens properly." "Well, this stuff is much better than cow's milk," Dr. Adams said, adding an extra box. "Mix it with boiled water and use these little bottles with rubber nipples. The kittens can suck these properly. Everything's sterilized, of course." How often Mandy realized that there was a proper way to do this. The kittens' lives depended on it. Every couple of hours for the first week. Mandy gulped. Less if the mother cat can still give her milk herself, during the night, for instance. "I think she can. She's just a very small cat and she's tired." Mandy was still determined to think the best. "Well then, this stuff 4 times a day will do the trick. Breakfast, lunch, after school, supper." He glanced at Mandy's serious face. "You're going to be busy," he said. "Any luck with finding homes for them yet?" "Not yet." She bent thoughtfully to the level of the baby squirrel in the cage. "Will Mr. Bell have to let him go eventually back into the wild?" Her dad shook his head. "He's not allowed to. It's against the law, I'm afraid. That's because he never survived out in the wild now. Poor little fellow. He seems he'll have to make do with Ernie's backyard for the rest of his life." Mandy nodded. "Don't worry. There are worse fates," Dr. Adams said. "Oh, I know." But Mandy was still in a serious mood as she rode over to school with the special kitten food. True, like Ernie Bell and the little squirrel, she was giving the kittens a chance of life. without homes, would it be a life worth living? She rode and prayed that the signs in the post office, Animal Ark, and the village hall would work. She wondered, too, whether she could persuade Mr. Williams to give them more time. A week was short. She leaned her bike against the hedge and went up the steps into the custodian's kitchen. Once Walton was happily eating, Mandy showed Mrs. Williams the new arrangements for Smoky Patch, Amy, and Eric. To her surprise, the custodian's wife actually offered to help. "Don't tell my husband." She pressed her thin lips tightly together. "He wouldn't approve." She took Amy out of the basket and gingerly snuggled her up against her flowered apron, complete with feeding bottle. "Poor little Scrap," she murmured. So this is a picture of Mandy feeding one of the kittens, one of the little baby kittens. And we know that Mandy is going to be very busy because she now has the cats to take care of. But hopefully, the custodian's wife is going to be helpful too. Sounds like she is. Miss Williams is going to help out. We'll stop there, and tomorrow we'll start at the top of page 55, Kittens in the Kitchen. Thank you, second graders. Have a really good day.